Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2024 Netflix original film, Irish Wish, starring Lindsay Lohan. A bunch of other people are in this. Lindsay had a 3-film contract with Netflix, I believe. This is one of the 3 films. And it's okay. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's okay. It's fine. It's a rom-com. It's fine. It's predictable. It's a wishing film. We're in Ireland. She plays this character who is going to be marrying her coworker. She's an editor. He's an author, but turns out she writes most of his books. So she's a ghostwriter and editor of his books, but it sells because it's his book kind of thing. It's a little weird, but she has been in love with him, and then turns out he's in love with one of her friends. They get married, plan a wedding very quickly in Ireland, where he's from. So we're in Ireland. We're around town. We're meeting the family in this mansion or castle, if you will, and estate, whatever you want to call it. And Lindsay's character is not happy. She wants to marry that guy, and she sits on a bench and she's talking to her mom on the phone, and she's making a wish, and then this random woman pops up and says, "Oh, was that a real wish?" And then she's like, "Well, yeah, I wish I was marrying so and so." It turns out she was making a deal, not a deal, but she was making the wish to Saint Bridget. So I thought that was interesting, throwing a patron in, not so much just like a random, fairy godmother kind of a thing. You use it as an actual patron, fine, totally fine. And then alternate universe. So what happens when she is now marrying the coworker instead of her friend marrying her coworker? How does this work? Realizing it was never meant to be and it wasn't destined at all. And she turns out to, fall in love with the guy she ran into the airport, had a luggage mishap in the original timeline. In the second timeline, he's a photographer. So he was then hired to, photograph their wedding. And so then they go off on a day trip to look at some cliffs or something like that. And there's a storm and a tree falls down. They can't get back. So they just spend the night at the pub. So it's predictable. It's very, of course she's going to end up with that guy in the end. So of course, when the timeline resets, she's going to realize that, she was never meant to be with the guy that she had a crush on, that she was always meant to be with this photographer guy, James. What happens next? We've seen it 1,000 times. There's nothing new to this. It's very mid. It's still nice to see Lindsay playing a character. It's nice to see her do another Netflix project. I'm curious if she will be recontracted to do more Netflix projects. But all in all, again, not terrible, not great. It was okay. Right in between, nice and mid. Good film to watch with the shamrocks up, prepping for St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Irish Wish. On to the next review. Mahalo.